This is a slightly different sort of video from normal. Most of the videos I make, I'm going on adventures, but I wanted to make one where I talk a little bit about my experience moving to another country, specifically doing that without any planning, or at least any sort of structured plan for what I'm going to do when I get there. I sort of left my life in Scotland and then I came straight here with a bit of traveling in between, and now I'm just sort of working things out. I know a lot of people are scared to do that sort of thing, but I think overall it's been a really positive experience. I don't regret it, but I want to speak about some of the good sides and some of the bad sides about the whole thing. The first thing I think I wasn't expecting was that I really didn't have very much to do when I got here, apart from applying for my residency, which was quite complicated. I had to get my paperwork in order along with my partner. That was quite stressful, but that was the only thing I really had to do. Apart from that, I found myself with a lot of free time because I didn't have a job. I didn't really know anyone here. I still don't know many people here, apart from my partner, so I was just sort of existing. Spending my time exploring by myself, learning the language and reflecting, which wasn't what I expected, but it was good on one hand and bad on the other, I suppose. When I'm kept really busy, I have less time to get sad, reflect about things. I'm always distracted. So I had to think about a lot of things I was uncomfortable thinking about. I had to really face up to myself in a lot of ways. And sometimes I got quite lonely. Being so far away from everyone I knew was something I didn't really know what it was going to be like. And I think having people that I knew around me in the same country all the time was something I took for granted. It can be quite hard when you don't have a support network in the same place and they're just on the phone all the time. It's a bit different. And making friends is very daunting and can be quite scary, can be quite hard, especially when you get a bit older. People, when they get a bit older, they have their friend groups already sort of established, and it's a lot harder as an outsider, especially a foreigner, to sort of break into that. I was lucky that my partner has a lot of friends, so I've never been short of people to speak to, and I'm lucky to have my partner. He's amazing and he's my best friend, but I also think it's very important that I have my own friends. Finding those hasn't been easy, but I have a couple now. It took a lot of work to get the courage to continually meet up with people and build friendships from nothing, when I'm used to having friendships that started when I was a lot younger and I didn't really have to put that sort of effort in, I suppose. So that was new, but I think it was valuable to learn that skill, and it was a good experience. Now I have some sort of support network here, but that was a challenge that I wasn't expecting. The other thing I was worried about was feeling rejected by the community when I moved here, but I've been quite lucky. I think for the one part, I'm lucky in that I'm white and I'm from the UK, which is a country, I suppose. Well, a lot of people don't like people from the UK, but I don't have to struggle with people being racist or anything like that. And the place I live, there's a lot of immigrants. I'm in a big city, so I feel like I belong, which is nice. I was worried I would feel sort of unwelcome, but most of the unwelcome sort of comments I've had have been online. People commenting on my videos, but never people I've met in real life. So that's something that is less of an issue than I thought it would be. And I'm pretty grateful for that, because in the country I come from, the UK, people can be quite horrible to foreigners, people from other places. So I'm grateful I haven't had to face too much of that. And I wish it wasn't really a thing at all, to be honest. I think a lot of people in the neighborhood I live in face that, and I don't. So I'm very aware that I'm quite lucky in that respect. The other thing I want to talk about is making money. I make content online about traveling, and I have a few income streams from that. And I'm really lucky to live with someone who financially supports me in a lot of ways. I'm also a tattoo artist, and I'm sort of finding work as I go. I didn't have a solid set job when I got here. I don't really have much tattooing work here. I'm traveling around for it. It's all very sort of spontaneous, unplanned, and just taking it as it comes. But it always figures itself out somehow. I don't have a big safety net to fall back on. I'm just sort of winging it. And again, I'm in a very lucky position to have somebody with me who can support me if I need it. But so far, I've just been able to make enough to scrape through, and I still am, and it's looking like it's going to get better. I think the main thing I need to learn from this is to be patient, which is quite hard when you're someone like me, but things like this take time. I had this idea in my head that I would get there and everything would start happening at once. It doesn't work like that at all. You have to wait for things to start happening by themselves, and slowly you build yourself up and settle yourself somewhere, I suppose. That process can be frustrating. For me, in many ways, it was frustrating. I felt like I was falling behind. I really don't like that, but also I appreciate having more free time. I've started to do more painting, started to explore more sides of myself that if I was working full-time, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to do that. So in many ways, this has been a positive thing and something I can learn from and maybe change the trajectory of my career in a good way. The whole thing has made me realize that working and having a career is not important. Obviously, you need to make a living, but that's not what life's about. Life is about a lot more than that. And you can have an amazing job, amazing career, but you can be very unfulfilled in other ways. So I'm grateful to have a lot of fulfillment in my life, even if my job isn't going really fast at the moment. I'm exploring a lot of things. I'm doing a lot. I'm always busy. I always find ways to keep myself busy. And I'm happy with that. And I have just enough money to survive. So things are good. I would rather be in a new place, experiencing exciting things and living in a new way, finding new sides to myself, than making a lot of money. That's definitely something I prioritize. And the final thing I want to talk about is the effect it's had on my mental health, which has been swings and roundabouts, really. I think I had a lot of security when I was back in Scotland that I wasn't really aware of. I was in a very safe place. I was surrounded by my family and my friends, and I was constantly busy. And so I never really had time to get sad or to really think about issues that I might have within my own mind. I moved here. Something that started happening was I started to have panic attacks. I think a big part of that is just the unpredictability of my life right now. And my anxiety has also been getting quite bad occasionally. Again, because it's a brand new situation, it's a hell of a lot for my brain to take in. And I never really thought about that or made plans. So something I've done is to start getting therapy online with someone. And that's really helped, just to have some guidance through the whole thing. I can barely afford it. I can't save money because I'm paying for this, but I think it's really important and it's helping me as a person, and I feel in a much better position to face the challenges that I'm facing here. And again, it made my brain just do things that I wasn't expecting when I put myself in this brand new situation, surrounded by brand new people, new place, new language, everything. And I already have a spicy brain. I have anxiety. I have probably got ADHD. I don't really function like a normal person. And so all of these new things made me really struggle for a while. But getting some guidance, getting some help, and just being really kind to myself has helped me a lot. And now I feel like mentally I'm better than I was when I was back in Scotland. So I think that really helped me. I think that was a good thing. So I think I've covered most of the things I want to talk about. These were the things I wasn't really expecting when I did this big life change. If you're thinking of doing something similar, I hope this can prepare you a little bit and give you some things to think about that maybe didn't occur to you, so you can be better prepared to do this for yourself. It's 100% worth it. I'm still very happy that I did it. Things are getting better and better every day. And yeah, thank you very much for watching.